button for the best of the day's action.
Perfect timing from Rob Walker as usual. You just rejoin us as Stephen breaks off and has left it a little bit short. That was a lovely sunny day when he recorded that. We haven't had too many of those this year at Sheffield. I'm sure it'll get better next week. I hope it will. Now, can Joe knock a long one in to just get a bit of confidence going again? Well done. That's a great shot. After what happened in the previous frame, that was an extremely good pot. He's got a great temperament, Joe Perry. He's one of the most likeable people you could ever wish to meet. Big friends with Neil Robertson, always winding each other up about football. Neil, a big Chelsea supporter. In fact, in the Champions Lounge the other night, he nearly lifted the roof when Chelsea won.
Well, he's entitled to. Yeah, look, there's a Samsung shirt there. Chelsea. You didn't see too many of them earlier in the season, has to be said.
7.
It's been washed and dusted off and brought back out, Dennis.
He's been scratching his head a few times this afternoon, Joe Perry. He's just wondering where the black will go. It shouldn't be tied up, but the pink might be available here. And that's much easier to get on that red just to the left of the bunch. If the red goes next to the black, you can go red, blue, and back up for the red that's a little bit awkward. So Ying just has got to find a very tricky spot here. She might have to get right in the middle of those reds. No, it's just in a straight line behind it, and I thought for a moment there might have been enough room in the middle of those, but there's not. But even then it's a tricky little spotting exercise here, but she's done a fabulous job here. First time at the Crucible. It's from China, and she refereed a
13.
maximum break on her very first appearance.
Important to get the right side of the blue here. Could have done with that cue ball up a little further.
Did well from that angle to get up for this red that we mentioned. But he needs a good angle now on the colour.
20.
He's got it, but he's got to be a bit careful he doesn't stick in the red and pink here. He needs to play this with a stun so that the white doesn't stick in the reds.
Yes, that was well played, but how's your luck? Could have been better.
27.
There's one near the blue that'll definitely go, but you could have hoped for something a little easier.
Yeah, he hit the white right in the centre that time, not on the bottom. When you hit it centre ball and force it like that, that's how you stun the ball. Just a little bit of noise. Joe just settling himself. They're in between frames on the other table. Now, where's that red going? Where's that red? Oh, I thought he was going to fluke it in the pocket.
27.
He attempted it. But he just seems to be going along nicely, and then all of a sudden it just runs out of position slightly.
Yes, and well, unfortunately for Joe, a little telltale sign of nervousness there. So he certainly hit that harder than he's hit quite a few of the shots he's played today. He's definitely under pressure at the minute.
One.
Of course, Stephen Maguire's after revenge. He lost to Joe Perry here in
6.
2008. Went to the deciding frame 13-12 in the quarterfinal. You know what I didn't realise,
7.
John? It's 4 years since Stephen Maguire's won a ranking event that was out in China. I couldn't believe that.
Yes, pretty amazing stat you came up with there. I think the way he plays the game and how good he is, it wouldn't have been that long between victories. This wouldn't be a bad place to correct it, would it?
Well, he's won the
14.
UK Championship, as we show you this power shot again with the arc on the cue ball. Yeah, he's been UK champion, and 3 of his fellow Scots have been world champion. Stephen Hendry,
15.
John Higgins, Graham Dutt. I think Stephen Maguire would like to join those 3 great players. But it has to be said, he's never really played
20.
his best snooker at the Crucible, so he's trying to put that right.
21.
Yes, he played brilliant in 2007 here. He led John Higgins in the semi-final by 14 frames to 10. But Higgins made one of those famous comebacks where he just refused to be beaten and got over the line 17-15. So Stephen came very close.
$23.
Don't think any of those reds are available. They're all covering each other around the pink spot area. And
24.
you could see the right hand side to get the correct side of the blue. So a nice little nudge here. Even if he just played a gentle cannon onto the one just to the right, that would do him. That would open things up. If he just nudges that, he'll open the reds up. But you know, sometimes with Stephen, he likes to play it with a little bit more power. But if he only just landed on that, he would be okay. Just depends how he feels.
Yeah, it's a pretty tricky group of reds, this.
You can go either side of that red that's on the pink spot to play the cannon. It's a slightly awkward
29.
queuing. He needs a little bit of angle to be able to get on the blue because he is bridging over the red. And if you force them, they're more difficult.
30.
And that is a problem now. Not a bad shot just to roll onto the blue here and leave things very awkward. Okay, you can play the snooker or leave the white tight on the cushion, but if you just rolled up to the blue,
Green ball.
it would really leave it awkward.
Stephen Maguire, 30.
There is an escape route for Joe Perry. It's a thin contact, and he's got to be careful he doesn't push this red over the right corner pocket.
This is an excellent shot. However, Stephen Maguire's had a look here, and the red that's closest to the pink spot is potable.
That's the one that John was talking about. It's a free shot. Back up for safety. Well, he didn't anticipate the red coming back up also. But it's just about pulled up. I don't think that will cut into the middle. Got to be careful here. He's got to find a gap. And he has. This is excellent. Once again, does that one closest to the pink cut. Only this time, if he comes back up the table, he'll have to be careful he doesn't go close to that red that's near the middle pocket. Well, it shows you there that it goes, but I think he's a bit concerned about cannoning into the red that's near the middle pocket. In fact, he's